In Saucer v. Katz, 2001, the U.S. Supreme Court created a two-pronged test to determine when a police officer enjoys qualified immunity for official actions. The test requires courts to determine, first, if a constitutional violation occurred, and if a violation was found, whether the right was clearly established at the time of the violation. In Pearson v. Callahan, 2009, the Central Utah Narcotics Task Force, based on evidence that Callahan was a methamphetamine dealer, sent an informant to his home to make a purchase. After receiving a signal from the informant that the sale had taken place, the task force entered the home and conducted a protective sweep of the house without a warrant. At trial, Callahan was convicted of possessing and distributing methamphetamines based on the evidence discovered during the search. However, the Utah Court of Appeals held the evidence inadmissible and reversed Callahan's conviction. Subsequently, Callahan filed an action in federal court against the task force and individual officers alleging that the search violated his rights of the Fourth Amendment. The U.S. District Court of the District of Utah dismissed the claim, holding, in part, that the consent once removed doctrine applied to the search. Under the consent once removed doctrine, an undercover officer may summon backup officers into a home after that officer has been invited with consent. However, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Tenth Circuit disagreed, holding that the doctrine does not apply when the officers are summoned by a police informant rather than an undercover officer. Therefore, according to the Tenth Circuit, Callahan had established a violation of his Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures, and qualified immunity would not be permissible. In Pearson, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned its earlier decision and held that the lower court should not view the rule in Saucer as an inflexible mandate. The court recognized that the rigid two-pronged test would cause lower courts to waste valuable resources in answering the constitutional questions that sometimes do not even predict the outcome of the case. Based on the facts of the case in Callahan, the police officers enjoyed qualified immunity because it was not clearly established that the search was unconstitutional at the time of the conduct.